will not believe the recent cases caught on tape. And while these videos may make you laugh, authorities say don't laugh too hard because you are paying for it.
Does this skydiver look like he has back injuries? If a professional wrestler slips and falls, are his injuries real? And what about that drag race? No, not that kind of drag race. This kind. Would you dress in drag and run a 40-yard dash in high heels while you were supposed to be home with a back injury? The Connecticut State's Attorney's Office says Garrett Dalton did.
Willing to do anything.
Absolutely.
They say Dalton was willing to do anything to stay home from his job as a prison guard and keep collecting workers' comp. State investigators charged him with felony fraud after his supervisor spotted him running this race sponsored by a radio station. Dalton entered a not guilty plea and is expected back in court in a few weeks.
Desperate workers can be very imaginative when they smell workers' comp money.
But insurance investigators say these cases cost real money, billions of dollars a year, and they're on the rise because of the recession.
As long as you have a down economy, you're going to have people trying to scam the system just to save their own hides.
Judge Michael Joyce used to send people to prison. Now he's behind bars himself, convicted of 2 counts of mail fraud and 6 counts of money laundering. Joyce claimed a 5-mile-an-hour car crash made it impossible for him to do the things he loved, like scuba diving. But what's this? Photos of Joyce diving in Jamaica at the same time he was making insurance claims. His claims resulted in a big payday, $440,000. Joyce has always maintained his innocence and says his injuries were real. He's appealing his conviction. Why is this man so happy? The Pennsylvania Attorney General says Michael Terrace tried to claim insurance money after he said he slipped on some spilled coffee at a 7-Eleven. But then investigators found these photos of Terrace, a professional wrestler known as Mr. Motion, used to faking falls and injuries. Terrace pled guilty to insurance fraud and was sentenced to 3 years probation. Insurance fraud raises premiums and makes it hard for honest businesses to compete. So the New York State Insurance Department has an aggressive program to combat it.
It is essentially a fraud tax that is imposed on business, but ultimately consumers foot the bill.
That's why the department went after this guy, Jacob Bancroft. Authorities say Bancroft claimed he had an injured back and collected insurance benefits for a year and a half before the bottom fell out from under him when investigators discovered this video of him skydiving.
Ready to go? Cool.
They say he also participated in hot air ballooning and hiking and firefighting and heavy construction. What brought Bancroft down to earth?
Nice skydive, Jacob.
Here we had someone who, in essence, boasted about his outside activities, advertised them on his Facebook page, and that sort of evidence doesn't come along every day.
Bancroft entered a plea of not guilty, and his attorney did not return calls for comment. His high-flying case is proceeding toward a trial.
And there is a flip side to insurance fraud that is actually even bigger, namely companies hiding employees or downplaying the danger of what those employees do or claiming they're independent contractors when they're not, all in a fraudulent attempt to avoid paying workers' compensation premiums. Problem is, if you're that worker and you do get hurt on the job, the insurance company may refuse to cover you, Robin.
Oh, that is a tragedy. Oh, Eli, thank you very much for uncovering that. Appreciate that.